Welcome back, guys, to another video. We got more stuff coming in about the whole Trump situation, about the trucker situation, and especially a lot of crazy stuff is happening in New York City, guys. Right now, New York City is buckling under the pressure. They're facing a budget deficit, and we'll be going through all sorts of different things and keep you updated about the city. But overall, the city is not looking so great. It's no longer the financial hub that everyone talks about, right? Nowadays, when people graduate from college, from a good business school, you don't have to go to New York City to do finance. You have several other competitors. Toronto up there. You got Austin over there in Texas. You got Miami and Tampa slowly becoming major financial hubs. Even Chicago is having many of their financial hubs threatening to leave, with the recent one being the CEO of Citadel, Ken Griffin, moving his whole entire operation, all the finance stuff, to Miami. So check this out. Judge in Trump civil fraud case denies request to delay the $355 million penalty. Now, usually billionaires like Trump don't necessarily have that much in cash. So the chances of him sacrificing one of his buildings to pay for this is extremely high. Trump is now barred from operating business in New York for 3 years, and he has to pay this. Now, one of the biggest things that people don't understand about the fraud case is it's a little bit sus, right? Guys like Kevin O'Leary, Grant Cardone, celebrity investors all said that Trump is innocent. The reason why is Trump, he had like a $400 million building. He took out a $200 million loan with a small regional bank, and the bank wasn't blackmailed. Like, the bank wasn't coerced into dealing with Trump. The bank willingly wanted to work with Donald Trump because they're going to be making money from the interest, and Trump gets some capital to do future investments. Nothing super crazy. In fact, this is what's expected of real estate developers and investors. But of course, the New York City judge said Trump is guilty and is forced to pay $355 million. And apparently it's just him. Like, every single real estate developer in New York City makes big investments, makes big buildings, and they do it in the same formula as Trump. In fact, let me correct you guys. This is actually a formula for real estate that's used all over the world. It's not just a New York City thing. It's not just an American thing. This is just business and finance 101 here. So why is Trump the one that was singled out for this massive fraud case? We don't really know, and this is why people are kind of mad about this. Now you got guys like Grant Cardone says he's done. He will be avoiding New York and double down on other states. Now, what are the 3 states? Texas, Florida, and probably Nevada as well, which is experiencing a massive real estate boom. Now, one of the biggest things about New York that's really making a lot of people scared is they could just pretty much pluck anyone off the streets and charge them with fraud. Oh, you borrowed money? You're doing this and that with millions of dollars? Well, let me give you a little fraud case. Here you go. And that's what's freaking a lot of people out. So now you have investors that thought about putting like $2-3 billion in New York real estate and do big investments, now may only consider putting $1 or $1.5 billion. Obviously, the flow of investments into New York is not slowing down per se, but you already have signs of very hesitant investors in the small and medium category that don't necessarily want to put all their eggs in New York City anymore. In fact, this is causing even more people to start considering other states and other cities in the US, which you would probably make more money. And the other cities in the US, like, for example, Las Vegas, Austin, Houston, Miami, Tampa, are probably more friendly towards investments anyway. So no wonder you got big investors and small ones are slowly shifting out of New York. Another thing you need to know is the trucker situation. New York governor warns truckers that they have to deliver to New York City or else it's a crime. And they may be, available to just seize their bank accounts and seize their homes. The guys, this is kind of like what Justin Trudeau did in Canada. But of course, America is not Canada, and I don't really think she's going to be doing this. But it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen to New York City in the next few weeks. Obviously, the trucker boycott is pretty effective, or else people won't get pretty nervous about it. Now, one thing you need to know about a trucker boycott is, like anything in the world, not everyone's going to be doing it, right? And most truckers are not doing the boycott. Most truckers are still delivering loads to New York City. But the statistics show, according to many truckers on X, 20% of truckers are refusing to deliver to New York City. That's a pretty large amount. It's not like super big to the point where grocery shelves are empty, but it's actually causing a lot of people to get pretty nervous about the whole New York situation. In fact, many of these truckers are refusing these loads, which is causing these shipping companies to add in like extra $2,000 to $3,000 per load just so they could get someone else to ship it to New York City. So there you go. Like, especially in New York right now, doing the whole migrant crisis situation, having a truckers boycott just does not feel right. In fact, it's probably pretty harmful for the city. Another thing is people are pretty much treating truckers terribly right now. People are threatening truckers. People are calling truckers dumb. But in fact, you got to respect truckers. Because the trucking industry is brutal. This is not some walk in the park, guys. People are responding that truckers stop delivering stuff to New York City. Well, you're going to be replaced. I highly doubt that. Now, one of the biggest things about the trucking industry is we're short about 80,000 truckers. Why is that? It's because the burnout rates are crazy. You're never home. You're always driving. You're always caffeinated. You're always sleeping in the back of a truck. And it's not a job that you want all the time, right? It really tires people out. This is why I have great respect for truckers. You're literally the backbone of the US economy. Most of the goods delivered in New York City are by truckers. We have a very bad rail system, so most of the goods are by Class 8 semi-trucks. So yes, we have a trucker shortage, and I don't think they're being replaced by anyone. Another thing about New York City that people are getting really worried about is, according to the S&P Global Ratings, sanctuary cities are going to be posing big budgetary concerns. Migrants and asylum seekers going to sanctuary cities like New York City, Chicago, and Denver, especially Denver, by the way, are facing humongous budget challenges. In fact, I can also say that they're going broke. New York City doesn't have that much money left. In fact, they're so down bad, some people even say the reason they're charging Trump for this massive penalty is to probably just get some millions of dollars in their pockets to pay for this outrageously expensive migrant crisis, because they're spending almost $10 billion a year, which you may be scratching your heads. Hold on a second. $10 billion a year, if they could shell something out that big, could New York fix every single problem they had in the past? Absolutely, but they didn't. But they're willing to shell out $10 billion for the migrant crisis, but apparently not for their own citizens, which is causing a lot of people on social media to be very fierce about this. Not to mention, even New Jersey is getting kind of mad because now the MTA will be hitting drivers with a $15 daily toll if they cut into Manhattan's central business district below 60th Street. What in the world is going on? This is very expensive. Now, here's the thing. MTA has said that the toll is a congestion toll, and they should be raising $1 billion a year. Now, one of the biggest things that people need to know about this toll is it's $15. It may not sound a lot for some of you guys, but let me tell you, the people who are lower income, the people who are going to New York, maybe for a quick bite to eat, the people who are the staff of many Manhattan's finest buildings, they don't have enough money to afford Manhattan. That's why they're crossing and using these bridges and transportation areas, because they live in like Jersey, for example. They live in, the other boroughs, for example. But now this specific route is going to be super expensive going to Manhattan just to work. $15 a day, $15 a day, $15 a day after 100 days. Guys, that's like $1,500. That is super expensive. And now you have many business owners are forced to make everything more expensive, because if they don't increase wages, many of these people who are paying tolls will probably not cross the bridge anymore and go to Manhattan for work. They'll just work in their own area. They won't go to Manhattan anymore. Many restaurants are kind of scared as well, because let's say every single night you get 100 customers coming in. Now you only have maybe 90 or 85 customers. This is, in my opinion, a little outrageous. It's so expensive, especially you have many people whose incomes are in the bottom tier, maybe even the middle class. They can't afford this constantly, right? Especially if you, let's say your husband and wife, you're a team and you both go to Manhattan for work. That's $30 a day. That's super duper expensive. And guys, if you're a policeman, if you're a fireman, if you're a teacher, If you're a nurse, a doctor, you are not exempt from paying this $15 toll tax. So this is making many New Yorkers and even some of the guys in New Jersey kind of frustrated right now. Let's see what happens to New York. So far, in my personal opinion, it's not looking so great. I think everyone's getting kind of angry. New York is already a city that's super crowded and super expensive. Now with the migrant crisis, $15 tolls, and also a trucker boycott, New York just can't catch a break right now.